Hey everybody, it's the eve of Christmas Eve, and if you're a kid, that's very important. It's Monday morning. Christmas is in 2 days, and today will be my last video until till this Thursday. So I'll give you a couple days with the family to relax and enjoy yourselves. Today, I want to talk about how far are you willing to go for Jesus. Now, for some of my friends and family know that I've been suffering from a prolonged backache the last couple days. And kept me from doing some things that I really wanted to get done around the house and go to church and whatnot. And actually, it was a nice little break from doing other things like dishes too. But don't tell Lindsay that. Anyway, so let's talk about Mary for a minute. Now, we all know Mary was pregnant, and in Luke chapter 2, there was a census, and Joseph had to go to Bethlehem, his ancestral town, to register for the census. Now, if you start in Luke chapter 2, verse 4, the story goes, so Joseph also went up from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Bethlehem, the town of David, because he belonged to the house and line of David. He went there to register with Mary, who was pledged to be married to him and was expecting a child. Now, what's really interesting about this story at this point is, for one, Mary didn't have to go. Some of the research I've done suggests that either they weren't married or women didn't have to participate in the census anyway. They were just more concerned with the men, and the men would register his family accordingly. So, in this regard, Mary willingly chose the journey to go. And while they were there, she gave birth to her firstborn, a son. She wrapped him in clothes and placed him in a manger because there was no guest room available for them. And that's the story of Christ. Well, let's talk about a story of you and I right quick. Let's just say that you're expected to participate in the story of God, and it becomes difficult and painful, just like my bad back. When would you stop participating? When would you say, this is enough, I can't do this? See, Mary didn't have to go. She was very, very pregnant. In other words, she was, in her third trimester, and doctors don't let women do much in the last week or two before their due date, right? I mean, don't travel, don't get on a plane, all those things. And she rode the 85-mile journey from Galilee, Nazareth, to Bethlehem. 85 miles, on a donkey. Maybe she walked some. I mean, I'll tell you what, that takes some perseverance. It's a 4 or 5 day journey. And at any time, since it was, her choice to do so, she went out of her own free will, she could have said, I'm done. But it was important that her son be born in the proper town, to fulfill the prophecies, but also because that's what God wanted. So I challenge you today, as you're moving about your story of God, when God calls you in your work or your home life or your relationships with others, when it gets difficult, don't jump off the donkey. Don't stop. Don't say, I've had enough. This is my choice. I've done enough for God this week. I'll finish it later. See it all the way through, just like Mary did. And Mary's servanthood to God didn't just end there. She kept going and going until her death. And some of us, and I'm guilty of this myself, will do so much for God, then we'll say, enough is enough. I've suffered enough. Look, no one else is suffering like this. Nobody else has to deal with this frustration like this. I'm jumping off. See it all the way through this week, today, in your own life, in your spiritual world. See it all the way through. Okay, Merry Christmas. I hope you have a blessed time with your family and friends this week. I will see you on Thursday, the day after Christmas. God bless.